Ron, and I want to wish you all greetings from FFFR.org. Tonight is our latest chapter in America's Other Age. We're going to be discussing the salient topic of Social Security. And Ron Nelson, it's always great to have you with us again, and we have some issues with Social Security. The website's been talking and showing things to us, but what can you tell us about what we can expect from Social Security reform in the next few years?
Okay. You know, I think the first thing we need to establish with the American public is the fact that I know you know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question anyways. What year was the trust fund status revoked from Social Security? Because after that date, the funds were no longer protected, and the government was free to spend it in Vietnam, Iraq, bridges to nowhere, as you folks know, and all kinds of other places. So when was the trust fund status revoked, Don?
Well, now that I'm educated by the macroeconomic newsletter, I know it's 1965, but let me tell you, I and my friends had no idea until I found that fact in the literature.
You know, you're absolutely right. And one of the real problems with all of this is the fact that all the schemes and all the deals you listen to from the Democrats, the Republicans, the radio talk show hosts, the TV talk show hosts, and all this other pseudo-experts who are telling you Social Security's okay, don't worry about it, look the other way, is they're not telling you something important, which is how much money has been taken out of the Social Security funds at 65.
Ron, this is what I want to know. What happened to that money? What was it used for? What's it being used for now?
You know, the problem is it's over $4 trillion that was taken. And most people don't know that. $4 trillion. Guess what, folks? Had you kept your eye on the ball, they would have never taken all your money and spent it. Worse than that, the ultimate insult is, you've heard of the Great Train Robbery. Well, the Great Train Robbery is a drop in the bucket next to this. This is over $4 trillion. Had they left the money alone, Social Security and Medicare would be overfunded, and we'd never have any problems. How about that?
Well, I must tell you, that is alarming. It's alarming to hear about it. How long can we survive with the current modality of dealing with Social Security? When will the benefits run dry?
Well, first of all, Medicare is no longer going to be self-funded in about 5 years. It'll have to borrow money because there's two taxes, the Social Security tax and the Medicare tax. The Medicare will no longer be self-funded in 5 years. And the Social Security is a matter of debate whether it's 15 to 20 years, but that's kind of irrelevant at the moment. Because what's really important is all the proposals, every one of them, folks, says, I'm going to accept the financial status the way it is. In other words, none of them have any plans to give you your money back. Because the money's gone. It went to Alaska's Bridge to Nowhere. It went to Iraq. It went to foreign aid. It went to welfare. You name it. It's gone. And so they're saying, well, you know, 300 million people of you won't even think about it and really don't care about it, so we're never going to bring it up. And if they're never going to bring it up, then they're saying, that money's gone, forget it. Because here's what happens. At the end of the month, the money gets cleaned out of the Social Security and trust funds. Therefore, nothing's left. They pay the benefits first, then the excess is swept in the Treasury and spent by the general expenditures of the government. So in effect, they're telling you that we're going to assume that the only thing you're going to get out of Social Security and Medicare are the new tax receipts. And we're going to forget about all the money that's gone. It's sort of like paying into a pension plan and then telling all the pensioners, oh, by the way, we spent all the assets in the pension plan, but pay no mind to that because that's irrelevant. It's gone. So the only thing left is the money we're going to take in from now going forward.
Here's what I want to know. This is a very, very compelling problem that we have now. It seems that there's not much light at the end of this tunnel, but I know you have some light for us. as one of the first baby boomers who's paid in for 35 years, can we restore trust fund status? What can we do constructively to bring some life back to the system?
Well, the only way to solve it, first of all, is not depend on the two political parties. People need to come and join us, because the ultimate solution is to force Congress to put the trust fund status back in place, number one, and number two, tell them to take money out of the general revenues and start putting them back into the trust funds out of the $4 trillion they took. Otherwise, here's what they're going to give you. They're going to say, oh, that money's gone, forget it. And I've already heard most of the proposals, and you know what they are? We're going to up the eligibility age, so maybe you're going to have to wait until 70 or 72 to get it, and we're going to raise taxes. And it has no consideration to giving your money back. And then they'll have to cut the benefits on top of that. Raise the eligibility age, cut the benefits, and raise taxes. That's because they don't want to give you, me, and all the other 300 million Americans our money back that they took and spent. And the only way it's going to change is if people come and join us so we can build this organization to approach Washington with the fact that we want our money back, and then let's talk about fixing Social Security and Medicare instead of the current proposals from both political parties, which is, you fools, we spent your money, it's gone. Now you have to deal with what is, because ignore the 43 years since 65 of your money that we spent, and it's gone. So that's where we are.
So Ron, what I'm concluding from your very careful and wise explanation about the dilemma is that there are strength in numbers on FFFR.org. If people join, if they become active, socially, politically, economically active, we can send mass mailings to our Congress. We can make demands. We can almost act as our own lobby. Am I right? In pressuring them to do what's necessary to keep us afloat and not become another Enron on a national scale.
That's correct, because if we don't put pressure on them, the benefits will get cut. Millions of retirees are going to suffer because they're not going to have the benefits that they were promised way back in 65, and it's going to be gone. They got to come to us, and we need to approach the government as a large organization of people who are concerned about the future retirees of America.
Well, you know, there you have it. We're not talking about a couple of people in this country. We're talking about the 99+% of people who are not informed, who are not aware of these macroeconomic details and the facts of life in terms of the lack of funding for Social Security. We've all been sending our money in with our paycheck every month since we started working. It's time for us to do something now. Please join us. Help us. We'll welcome you again next week to our next episode in America's Other AIDS.